Is equipment neutral or colored? Where's my crayons? All right. Thomas in Silkeborg, Denmark. Love Denmark. What a great country. What a great social system. We're not going to get political. Just love the way they do things in Denmark. It's great. Once upon a time, as all Danish, Andersen, H.C. Andersen, what was his name? H.C. Hans Christian, yeah. As all Danish Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales begins. There was a famous hi-fi engineer from the equally famous English hi-fi brand Quad, who proclaimed that his amp was sounding as neutral as a wire with gain. And I believe that was probably Peter Walker. And nowadays, this is a worldwide mantra among almost all hi-fi producers. Neutrality, neutrality, and more neutrality. But I find it's a double-edged sword. Most hi-fi manufacturers claim that their products are neutral sounding, or as neutral as can be. But on the other hand, in the development process of a new amp, CD player, and other hardware, they try to give the products a kind of voicing that may arise from the use of specific capacitors, resistors, and so on. But is this voicing neutrality, or is it coloration? What is, in your opinion, the difference between voicing and coloration? Wow, that's a really, really great question. I can only answer on behalf of PS Audio, and we are still interested in neutrality. Do no harm. What was the old Star Trek? They had some kind of rule where you weren't allowed to interfere in any society. Just take pictures, leave only footsteps. Don't mess with stuff. We don't want to make things overly warm or cold. But all of that is in service of neutrality. And so let me explain voicing to you. And I want to preface this with a pretty clear understanding that we are not striving for perfection, because perfection is impossible. We are dealing with a medium, stereo, that is absolutely imperfect. And until we can fix, why does my nose always start to itch when I start talking? And sorry, you ever pick up something? You pick up something, it's the minute I pick something up with both hands, my nose itches. Every single time. Can't be psychological. That would mean I'm defective. Anyway, we're dealing with an imperfect medium. And so we can't expect to get perfection out of that medium. What we can do is attempt to do as little harm as possible. So, with that goal in mind, when we voice something, we'll first, of course, put it on all the metering systems, and we get it right. We get it to where it's flat as it can be. If we're talking electronics, speakers are a different story. Speakers we don't want flat, because why? We're not dealing with a wire with speaker. We're dealing with a room and furniture and stuff. So we don't want flat in speakers because there's all this stuff that affects it. But here, with this stuff, we're dealing with a wire that affects it a little bit. Nothing that we want to concern ourselves with on this equipment. We get it right on equipment, then we go to voicing. Now, voicing is, in our vernacular, in our lexicon, is the art of achieving neutrality throughout a large group of disparate music. So I've got Paul's Dirty Dozen upstairs that I've published a number of times. Just go on Google and type in Paul's Post Picks, I think is, or Paul's Picks, whatever, and you'll find that. And that is a collection of very different music. Some, that's got pop, some that's classical, some that's vocal, etc. And what we're looking for when we voice, is no common traits amongst any of that music. So there's no exaggerated mid-bass throughout everything, and no super highs or anything that stands out that is common throughout those 12 tracks. We know that we've added a trait that is unnatural, and so we want to remove that. And so we work hard so that everything stands on itself and sounds as close to live music, real people, acoustic instruments, properly reproduced in space and without coloration. So from PS Audio's perspective, we're after neutrality, not coloration. I hope that helps. Okay, thanks. Great question. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.